Warning, this discussion contains spoilers for the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. If you haven't seen the movie yet and don't want to be spoiled, go ahead and skip over this one for now. We also swear a lot, so...
And just as a little fact, this discussion has a very big lack of Blaze the Cat, so if you're not okay with that, please go watch another video. Thank you, and we hope you enjoy.
So, I just got these little figures. I think they're from a Mario Kart Monopoly game.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little figure of Mario, Luigi, Peach, and Toad. They're from my stepsister, and I think she found them while she was cleaning out the school that she works at. The only weird thing about them is that Luigi's head is cut off.
That's weird.
Like, it's literally just cut off. I'm holding both the cart and Luigi's head.
Do you think this has like some sort of deeper meaning?
Yes, actually I do.
Okay.
I believe that Luigi was punished for his crimes. And the crime in particular that he was punished for is putting the spoiler endgame credit scene on a YouTube thumbnail before the Sonic the Hedgehog movie came out in theaters.
Okay, so if that's what he did, I want to say like something really briefly to Luigi.
What's that?
I hope he cannot survive his next fucking mansion. Because
I didn't know where you were going with that, and I was very concerned.
You were very concerned, but I tried to behave because it could have been way worse.
It could have been way worse.
Way worse. Because let me tell you this: this spoiled both me, and then because of that, I was calling with my girlfriend. I was screen sharing, and I got into home, and like after me already getting spoiled by a thumbnail on YouTube, and then marking in 10 more videos, and I counted them, whole 10 videos with tails in the thumbnail, marking not interested, so this would not happen. Guess what? I refreshed, we were looking for something to watch, and bang, I spoiled my fucking girlfriend as well. Look at that.
Wow. Good job.
I know.
You did a really good job.
I know, and it's all thanks to that guy that recorded the theater.
By the way, my name is Boulder. I am Lil Boulder. You might know me as the Music Man on the channel of which you're watching. And today I managed to drag my good friend Dakiii here with me. He's from Spain.
I'm a dude from Spain. Believe it or not, like Spain exists. I know, like it's crazy to think about sometimes.
What, dude? What?
Yeah, like there's.
I literally do not believe it. And he saw the Sonic movie in Spanish for a fact.
Yeah, there's like things like outside of America. Isn't that crazy?
That's unbelievable.
That's unbelievable. I know. And like, yeah, I sadly had to see this on a movie in Spanish, but let's not get into that.
Yeah, we'll get into that another point. But for now, what's crazy is that before the movie came out, I was actively looking for the spoiler because I didn't think I was going to be able to see the movie for a while. Yeah. Because I don't have a theater in my town, and my friends are busy, I'm busy, so I didn't think I was going to watch it until like, who knows when. But then my friend called me and was like, hey man, I know it's a big weekend for you, and I was like, yeah, I mean, the Sonic movie, that's pretty cool, wish I could see it. And he's like, well, how about this, I'm gonna come pick you up, we're gonna go watch the Sonic movie, all of us together as friends. And I was like,
that's really nice.
Okay.
That's really nice. That's really nice.
It was great. And so yeah, I actively looked for the spoiler because I didn't think I was gonna see the movie, so it didn't really bother me. But then I didn't find the spoiler no matter how hard I looked. So I actually got into the theater and was genuinely surprised.
You did not see Tails?
I did not.
Wow.
I had an idea.
And you were actively looking for the spoilers, and I was not.
Actively looking for it, and I could not find it.
And I was not, and it just found me. That's not okay. Like, why?
The same thing happened to my friends Dave Ace and Garrilla64.
Yeah.
But
that sucks.
But yeah, it was crazy because like I got to the theater. Again, I did not expect to actually go to see the Sonic movie, so I wasn't all that excited. But then as soon as I found out, hey, by the way, we're gonna go to the theater and watch the Sonic movie, my excitement levels just shot through the roof.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Suddenly it was starting to hit me. I'm about to go see a live action, big budget Hollywood Sonic the Hedgehog movie.
I had a similar experience where I was genuinely excited for the movie already, like especially after a redesign and stuff. But everything I saw, I live in Spain, so like all of these ads and stuff, they're barely here. They're all mostly on the States, which makes sense. And like it's just like I was already really excited because I saw all these ads on Twitter, and then trains fucking just painted with Sonic movie ads and huge billboards in New York City and stuff. But then I was just chilling and I got the ad in my TV. And when I saw it on TV, it was like, whoa, hold up.
No,
Like, this is coming out here too.
Yeah, like one of my relatives called me out into the living room and was like, "Dude, look, Sonic's on TV."
Yeah,
and I was just like, "Oh shit! Look at
my
that."
god, it's him. It really is him.
It's him. He does it.
And
but can we talk about that real quick? The advertising for this movie is insane.
I think they spent way more on advertising than the redesign.
A lot of money.
Like deadass. Like they spend so much on advertisements, and like I didn't
this
get
movie
this.
Was everywhere.
Yeah, I didn't get this as much, but I had friends tell me, like, you know, they know I'm into Sonic, so like every time something happens with Sonic, they're like, Dakiii. So I had multiple friends just constantly tell me, like, yo, I just got this unskippable 30-second long YouTube movie Sonic ad, and then I saw it on TV too, and then I saw it like on bus stops and everything, and I'm like, really? Like, you're all seeing all of this? Like here, in Spain, it's crazy, because in the US I understand, but here, holy.
Like, you know what that means. You should go watch the Sonic the Hedgehog movie starring Ben Schwartz, James Marsden, and Jim Carrey.
Mm-hmm. You really should. If you haven't, I don't know why you're watching this, but if you haven't, go watch it. And like,
I'm about to say, like, the odds are, if you are subscribed to this channel, you are either have already seen it, plan to see it, or didn't actually subscribe to this channel. In which case, what are you even doing here?
Yeah.
Subscribe to Lil Boulder. He's a good content creator.
Oh, I was gonna say leave, or yeah, you can subscribe too.
Well, I want them to stay.
Yeah, we want them to stay.
That's the goal is to keep them here.
Leave to my channel.
Like, go to Dakii's channel. Yeah, he makes better content.
Yeah, unsubscribe from Boulder.
I got to the theater and there was the big old Sonic marquee that everybody's seen. Mm-hmm. It's the big one with him running Jim Carrey in the background.
That's not here.
And that sucks to be you. I took a picture with it and everything with my son. Sonic is my son. Mm-hmm. And I was proud to watch him perform. Well, okay, so again, before we get into the movie, the theater experience was the most wholesome thing I've ever experienced.
Yeah, same here, actually.
There were so many, like, kids and even teens and adults. There were people of all ages. It was genuinely like a crowded theater of people of young, old, and mid-teen descent. Mm-hmm. It was so wholesome. There were kids just running around in Sonic shirts and wearing Sonic hats even, and they were shouting Sonic quotes. They were talking about the characters. I heard one kid say, like, "Oh man, I hope we see Shadow the Hedgehog." And I was like, first of all, you're not going to see Shadow the Hedgehog, but that's really sweet. Like,
it really is.
It made me emotional.
Yeah,
because like I've been a fan of this franchise since I was a kid. You have too. I would assume as much.
Of course.
So it's like, you know, just seeing this genuine love for this character all in one spot. Not mockery, not irony. Just genuinely, it's Sonic. He's cool. We all love him.
Yes. And I had the exact same experience here. And I had my expectations like really low already, because again, I cannot stress this enough of different things are here when it comes to the US with all these popular characters and stuff. Like it's not wildly. It's not the same. It's not as big here. Spain does have a pretty big Sonic fanbase, I'd say. I'm pretty sure. I'm not part of it, but I've heard of it. So it's still pretty big here. But when I went into the theater, I did not have like big expectations for like the crowd, at least.
Yeah, because you live in Spain.
Yeah, and I was like, dude, I know like the US. I've seen reactions of US like theater rooms and stuff that everyone just, when something happens, they cheer on and they applaud and stuff. There's something that just doesn't really happen here because things are different, I guess. That's all there is to it. But I went in, and not only did I notice like kids with like Sonic merch, like shirts and stuff, and talking about the character and stuff like you said, but like, and this is like me already going to like the end of the movie, but it was especially when it hit me like the end. Spoiler alert: Tails. When Tails comes through that ring portal, which, by the way, everyone's like, that's not a thing. That's been a thing since Sonic 1. Shut up. The ring portal, Tails came through, and, like, everyone, like, I heard adults gasp. I heard people just, like, go, like, and then kids just scream his name. And I was like, no way. Like,
oh, yeah, the exact same thing happened for me.
Like, my favorite franchise here in Spain not only is getting, like, represented, and like in a big theater room and stuff, but people are cheering for it, people are excited for it. And then there's a completely different story, but this isn't more tying into the humor of the movie and how the movie works and stuff. I found it really funny how tying into the stuff where there's little kids watching and there's adults watching and there's teens watching, I found it really funny how, for example, at the scene where Sonic does, the baseball scene where he does the fake farts with his, like, the adults were just like, okay. But then I had all the kids burst out laughing because Sonic did the thing with his arms, and it's like, okay, like, this movie really appealed to everyone, and I'm really happy that it did because it's working out.
Yeah, and I'm really glad that they didn't make it strictly for adult Sonic fans.
Yeah,
because I feel like a lot of people underestimate how important it is that the young audience gets involved in this kind of thing.
Of course,
and because kids fucking love Sonic the Hedgehog.
They do,
and I can when I see these kids freaking out in the theater, I can just remember when I was a kid and I saw Sonic anything. I was just I was flipping my mind. I was like, oh, it's Sonic the Hedgehog. He's so cool. And now I'm an adult, and I see these kids, and it's like, man, that's another generation of like fans that are gonna grow up with this franchise. It's super heartwarming.
Definitely, dude, and like I agree as well. And like this, we can take this like the whole debate with Sonic Colors, writing and stuff. Like when I was a kid, because Sonic Colors was, I'm 17 right now. I'll be an adult at least here in Spain. I'll be 18 in a month, barely a month now. When I was a kid, Sonic Colors was a game that I played growing up, and the writing of that game back then, when I was a kid, I needed it. I loved it. It was really funny to me. Something that now I look back and I'm like, man, I don't really dig this anymore. I really did when I was a kid, and that's really important that we could have a balance of both things, because this movie touched like a lot of super kid stuff, but it also touched some borderline like, is this really a kids family friendly movie kind of stuff as well. Like they were really close to saying some stuff, and they mentioned death, like Sonic, like at first, and I was really surprised at this when Sonic was like, hey, you need to help me or they'll kill me. I was not expecting Sonic to say that straight up. I think
this is an aside, but every time Sonic got injured and was like on the floor,
that was so sad.
There was a group of kids behind me screaming, Sonic's dead!
Yeah, it was so, like, they generally, like, especially the scene at the end where he's just laying down, like, the final confrontation, he's laying down for, like, a solid 5 minutes, all beat up because of that laser, that explosion. It's so sad, like, the man is dead. The man is just dead, burned on the ground, the dead hedgehog.
Was so funny.
Oh my
but I think a good thing about the movie is that it does not patronize to kids.
Yeah.
Like, it's a family movie, so naturally it's going to have some, immature humor here and there. That's all good, because as long as a movie doesn't patronize the kids and respects the fact that they're kids, but they're not stupid. And I feel like that's the most important thing to get right whenever you're gearing a movie towards the children and the younger demographic. Which, I mean, again, let's not kid ourselves. It's a movie made for kids. It just also happens to be formulated in a way that adults and teens can enjoy it as well. It's a family movie.
Exactly, because they know that, Sonic is aimed for kids, but they know, like, this franchise has been going on for, like, now, what's the anniversary going to be again, like, in a couple of years? Was it, like, the 35th already, or the 30th?
Oh, God. I don't know.
I forgot. I generally just forgot right now. It's just a long time, and they need to acknowledge that there's fans that have been there since the start, and they want to see this movie and they want to love it, but you also gotta go and get the main appeal, which is kids. So
yeah, and that brings us to the idea of it is important to respect the fan base if you're making a film based on a beloved iconic property, which is why that original design garnered as much hate as it did.
It did,
because it was specifically made to appeal to people who were not Sonic fans. Which, why are you making a Sonic the Hedgehog movie if you're not interested in Sonic the Hedgehog himself?
Exactly. And like every time I just think how crazy it is that, remember the first trailer with the first design and Gangsta's Paradise, the theme it had? it looked like it was gonna be such a serious, like they wanted to take Sonic like super seriously and stuff with that design, realistic design, and the song that was playing and all. And then suddenly we get a super colorful, cartoony redesign, and we get a trailer where we see Sonic doing all of these funny things and lighthearted things. Like, what happened? What was that first trailer all about? What was
at
that?
At the plate, Sonic. At the pitcher's mound, also Sonic.
Imagine that with the first design in Gangsta's Paradise.
Dude, there is a scene in that movie where Sonic is watching a kid's baseball game from like under the bleachers. Mm-hmm. I leaned over to my friend and I was like, dude, imagine the scene with the old design where he looked like a scary little man in a fucking Sonic fursuit.
Yeah, and like the white fur on his belly. I don't want to get into it. I think we beat up that design already. It's bad. It's bad.
That just leads into like what we were saying before we started recording, which was that we are big fans of movie Sonic.
We absolutely adore movie Sonic right now. And Boulder and I have a confession to make. And maybe Boulder didn't want to do it, but I'm dragging it out of him. God. Now, when we look at modern Sonic, we feel a little something.
It's a little weird. Like I'm getting really used to him looking more natural and having blue arms and looking like his body makes sense.
And the fur really adds to it as well, in my opinion.
Yeah, because when you look at modern Sonic, and I mentioned this a bit on Twitter, modern Sonic and Sonic in general was designed with 2D in mind. Mm-hmm. So when you translate that design into 3D, it's wonky. And even to this day, a lot of modern Sonic renders are wonky.
Really off. Yeah.
There's something off to them. Like in certain poses, he looks great. Other poses, he looks kind of off. Mm-hmm. But with movie Sonic, he was designed with 3D CGI in mind. Mm-hmm. So they maintain how unique and interesting and cool, most of all cool, his design is, but they didn't compromise on how he would realistically move his body.
Yep, I agree 100%. It's like, it's the same deal when, and there's like, I guess, an unfair comparison, but like, picture the Sonic Adventure model, okay, the first one, and then picture the 2D art that Sonic Adventure had, you know, the iconic pose. We all know the pose I'm talking about right now.
Right.
Imagine that with the in-game model, you know? It's not the same.
It's not going to work.
It's not going to work. First of all, it's not going to work. And second of all, even if he did pull it off, it's not as cool at all, you know? The 2D art just beats it because that design in mind, like modern Sonic, that 2D art just really fits for what it is, 2D art. But then the 3D model, it's just not the same. But movie Sonic, when he pulled off the Smash Ultimate render in that scene, that man is dope. It was such a cool little reference, and he looks so cool doing it.
Dude, he did both the Smash 4 and the Ultimate pose.
Yep, yeah, the Smash 4.
Smash 4 pose was during that freeze frame.
Yep, that's true. That
was like super, super cool.
It was super cool.
It was great because every single time something happened, like any kind of reference, any kind of little nod, I would lean over to my friend and be like, "That's the thing from this. That's the thing from that. Oh, he did the thing from this."
Yeah, dude. I actually had like my friends that were sitting more to the left of me. I was like to the farthest right, basically, of our like 5 seats. They said that he complained to me that he had a couple of just really huge nerdy Sonic fans that were just constantly talking about everything he did and stuff. And I think I behaved. I talked to my friends every now and then, but I was mainly thinking to myself to not bother everyone else. But yeah, I had a lot in my mind, 100%.
I had the excuse of like everybody else was freaking out, and exactly. my friends were super happy for me. Like I love my friends so much, man. They're extremely supportive. They were like, "This is your day, Jared." Like, by the way, my name's Jared. Like, this is your way. This is your day, Jared. You are allowed to be as much of a nerd and a loser as you want to be.
Yeah.
And I was. It was great. I had a great time.
That's fantastic. I'm really happy that went well for you. I had a lot of fun too. It was definitely really, really cool to see Sonic in theaters finally. My dad, like, he told me like the other, like, "Yo, dude, like, Dakiii, I remember you saying you wanted a Sonic movie since you were like, I don't know, like 6, maybe even 5. I just really wanted a Sonic movie since I was a kid." And I had it, and I don't think I could be happier. There's some flaws, but it's so good. It's really good.
Okay. Before we get into the actual movie itself, which is the very next thing we're going to talk about, I got to ask you a question.
Yes.
Did you cry?
Did I cry? I'm going to say this. I'm going to say the following. I did not cry, but I have a very genuine reason as to why. And this is what I already told you about. Sadly, for decisions that we had to make, my theater, first of all, I live in not a really small city, but I live in a smallish city. and in Spain. So my theater here did not have the Sonic movie screening in English. So I really wanted to go to the city that's next to me that's bigger, where it was there, but due to money stuff, because we had to catch public transport and stuff, we decided not to, which was a shame. But I ended up watching it in Spanish, sadly. I hated it. I hated the Spanish dub. I loved what I saw, but I hated the Spanish dub. And as an opinion here, the Spanish Sonic, imagine this Sonic, okay, movie Sonic, who's supposed to be cute, he's lonely, he has a lot of emotion going on. Imagine him, but sounding almost like, no, not almost, like exactly as deep as Roger Craig Smith. It does not work for this Sonic. I did not like it, and that took all the emotion away from me, sadly. But Boulder,
that's a shame.
Now I'm gonna just boomerang the question to you. Did you cry with Ben Schwartz?
I got a little teary-eyed.
Of course you did. I would have too.
Because, like, it wasn't even so much the movie itself that made me cry. Like, there were some emotional moments, but like nothing that would have like really gotten me to tear up. What got me to tear up was just the experience itself. Yeah. Like, just again what we discussed earlier with how excited everyone was, and I was like, "It's Sonic! There's my boy on the blue screen. He's been my friend since I was a kid, and there he is, performing, and everyone loves him." It was just like, it was so much. It all came together, and I was just like, I'm getting a little teary-eyed.
Yeah, it definitely hit. I felt that. I felt that atmosphere as well, honestly. Like I said, I did not expect many people to freak out about it. But then at the end, everyone screamed over Tails, and I got so caught up in the moment that I just started clapping. And then everyone started clapping. And it was so cool.
Yeah, like about 21 minutes into this, which I'm going to provide timestamps, so it's not a big deal. Dakiii, what is your general opinion of Sonic the Hedgehog as a movie?
Okay, so this could be taken like from a lot of different perspectives, I feel like, especially, you know, because of the fact that this is a new take on Sonic, both design-wise and lore-wise and universe-wise and everything.
Right.
But I'm gonna just get out of the way, like, the whole it's not modern Sonic thing. I do wish the movie did a little more when it comes to what we know of Sonic. Like, not Earth, not human characters that we need to rely on, but more Sonic, more CG, more Green Hill, more Mushroom Hill, more City Escape. And that's about as far as that goes. But when I look at this movie for what it is and what it's making me feel like right now after seeing it and stuff, and how positive everyone is, and how much I love the fact that if we take baby Sonic's origin story and stuff, Sonic now has an origin story that is sad. It's like emotional. It makes sense. He has one, unlike modern or classic Sonic. And the whole electricity thing, which I was iffy in at first, but then when I saw it in the movie, it led to like the emotional final moment, I guess, where he like suddenly opens his eye and he's just bursting with electricity, and he
turned Ultra Instinct.
He did, and he looked like really flashy and stuff, which I think Sonic is a character that's meant to be flashy. I loved it. For me, this movie was definitely an experience, and right now, what I can blame it for is that it's making me not want to return to my modern canon. But it's so endearing, it's so good that I just loved it, dude. I loved it.
I think something about that's worth mentioning is the fact that we are, Dakiii and I, for better or worse, are very lore-starved fans. Like, we love this franchise, we care a lot about Sonic the Hedgehog, but his world and his lore, his story, it's a mess.
It's a
mess. The
Sonic
game continuity and canon is an absolute mess. It makes no sense. Games do not connect properly the way they should, or you would expect them to. To this day, there is no game canon explanation for how we went from the classic series to Adventure and then onwards. And within the movie, we solved that within the first 5 minutes.
Yep. Basically.
Like, how did Sonic go from like being this young kid in his own creative, unique world with more anthropomorphic characters, and then suddenly he's in like the U.S. with like Americans and
the military,
and humans and the military. It's like, well, they explained that to us. We finally have a reason why Sonic is where he is, and why, it's like, he does not fit in with this world because he's not from this world. We don't get anything like that in the game canon. It makes no sense. None of it makes any sense. Sonic Forces, once again, brings back the anthropomorphic characters, despite the fact that they've been missing since, what, the classic games?
Yeah, basically. They've been away for, I cannot recall any game right now, because, Secret Rings didn't have them. Black Knight had the little, like, they looked like toys humans. Then Elise had cartoony humans. Yeah, they've been gone. It was only recently that Boom brought them back. And...
let's not talk about that.
That's not, no. I mean,
Sonic Boom
brought him back? Yeah.
Sonic Boom wishes it were the Sonic
movie. 100%. It
pretty much attempted the same thing.
Yeah, I wish it was as much of a cool and well executed reboot as this was.
Which is worth noting. Like, the Sonic movie itself, not a disaster.
It's not at all. The Sonic movie itself
not
is
a disaster.
Really solid.
It was actually pretty good.
It's not a masterpiece, but it's really solid.
Yeah, let's not kid ourselves. It's far from a perfect movie, and no one really expected it to be. But considering what we did expect, which was more or less a train wreck.
Exactly.
This movie had the best redemption arc of any anime I've ever seen.
Of any movie I've ever seen. Any anime, anything. It's just...
We started off learning about this movie like it's going to be Sonic might be an alien or Sonic might be this. It's going to be live action. It's going to star human characters. It sounded like it was going to be the worst thing in the world and another embarrassing stain on the Sonic franchise among many stains.
Yeah, and not only for the Sonic franchise, but another one that we care about the Sonic franchise the most, obviously, but also for the whole video game 2 adaptation movie thing. It was going to be another.
Yeah, it was looking like another train wreck.
Yep.
But then, as the time went on, it started to look even worse when we saw that design and then the first trailer, which was also a train wreck. But then came the delay, which was the start of something new.
It was, and we were all really happy, but none of us knew what to expect. Like, I saw a lot of people going like, it's gonna be really minor, don't get hyped about it, they're not gonna...
Yes, that's exactly. I had the exact same... I told you pretty much. I'm like, I expect this movie to be okay.
You did tell me.
I expect it to be fine.
Yes.
And then, lo and behold, it's fun. I had a really good time. My friends had a really good time.
My friends had a really good time too. My friends told me that they were expecting a 6 or at most 7 out of 10 movie, like being really out there. But one of my friends said, no, I think this is like a solid 8. You know, I'd really enjoyed this. And I feel the same.
It was very simple, very, very general. Like it wasn't too crazy. We didn't spend a lot of time on Sonic's World, and we know this was a result of budget. And because it's the first movie, they want to start a little more soft, a little more careful. But what we did see of Sonic's World was really interesting.
It really was.
The Echidna Tribe? Dude, I want to know more about the Echidna Tribe.
The Echidna Tribe is back, and that's really, really cool. Like, that's so cool.
So theoretically speaking, Knuckles is not the last of his kind anymore, unless in the years that Sonic was on Earth, something happened to the Echidna Tribe, and now Knuckles is once again the last of his kind.
Which I feel like is probably gonna happen, or not. But the thing is, this got me thinking today, actually. If the Echidna Tribe is there... Tikal? Hello?
It's possible.
It's possible.
Like, we don't know that's the thing, we don't know what's going on in Sonic's world.
Exactly. We don't.
And I want to know, and it's interesting, and it has me wanting to experience more of the movie franchise itself, which is an issue that I have with the game canon.
But it's really a different kind of you don't know what's going on.
It's a very different thing. Like, let's not mix words here. A movie is not the same medium as a video game.
Exactly.
It's not necessarily a fair comparison. But then you look back on how much media there is of Sonic the Hedgehog over his many, many years of existing. And in one movie, we know more about Sonic personally as a character than we ever have in years.
Yep. And that's just amazing. Like, right now, like we said already briefly, there's a canon that just so far, it's little, it's simple, but it answers a lot of things that we didn't know from the main games. And it makes sense. That's the thing. Right now, it fully makes sense. And it
asks questions that are interesting and have answers that we really want to know.
Exactly. And that's like, I don't know if you want to get into this already or we should discuss some other stuff, but the sequel.
Yeah, we'll get into that when we get there. I think first, like, we already touched on it a little bit, but Sonic as a character, I was very impressed with.
Oh my god. He's
a character.
He's a character. Like,
he's an actual character.
He's an actual character.
It's been so long since we've seen Sonic be vulnerable.
that's the thing that was missing to me, like, mainly, like, from Sonic. I need, in order to have faith and make a character be believable, in my opinion, is
be believable.
Yes. You gotta at least show me, like, not only how cool he is and how much he does things right and stuff, but I want to see the humanity in him. I want to see that he also suffers, and I want to see that he also fails, and that's okay. Because that's just going to make me appreciate his victories even more, you know?
Which there are two things that this movie did with Sonic that really surprised and impressed me. Which is, of course, the first one, we get into, you know, what Sonic fears, which is loneliness.
Yes.
He's been on Earth for years without being able to talk to anyone out of fear of them discovering his powers. So he's just been minding his own business, pretending that he was family with this group of humans that he ended up getting an attachment for. But he was by himself, and he feels that he wants to go home. He wants to make friends. He's a lonely guy, and that's really interesting. We've never seen that aspect of Sonic explored before.
Yep.
Because by the time we get to the games, like, he's got tons of friends.
Tons of friends.
He's the big hero guy. Everyone knows him. He's cool. He's got friends upon friends. Friends piling on top of each other. Friends barging at the door.
A lot of friends.
In the movie, he's by himself, and that's a really interesting angle to take. But the other thing that really impressed me was there's a scene, a good ways through the movie, where Dr. Robotnik, and we'll get into him, he utilizes one of Sonic's quills to harness his power and keep up with Sonic's speed. And in that moment, we see Sonic freak out. He's like, no one's ever kept up with me before. Like, what is
really
this?
Surprised. What is this? That's
and it shakes his unwavering confidence, which is something, again, that we don't see often.
We don't see often in Sonic at all. Not recently. That is, at least, like, not recently at all.
And I think it's also worth pointing out that we're strictly talking about game canon. This is not taking in the comics.
Oh, yeah. Comics are doing a fine job. Really well done.
Comics are doing their own thing, yeah.
Yeah, and they're as amazing as always. IDW is absolutely stellar right now.
But yeah, it's just seeing Sonic be lonely, seeing Sonic be afraid, seeing Sonic lose some of his confidence whenever Dr. Robotnik turns out to be a genuine threat. That's something that I've been wanting from this franchise for so long.
Eggman is a threat. He doesn't need a god. He doesn't need an extra god.
Yeah, he's just it's so interesting. I miss it.
I really do miss it too. It kept it simple, but everything just worked and was so well executed. It's just what we needed. It makes sense. I just can't get enough of how, like, I've wanted Sonic to make this kind of sense in a while. Like, you don't really need to go out there that much. Just make the villain, Eggman, Robotnik, he's a threat. He's already a threat. Like, just, you can keep it simple like this movie did and tell an amazing story. And that's what they managed to do. And I can't be thankful enough for what they did here. It's so good. And the shoes, even the shoes have their own little backstory that is really touching. Like, Sonic was beat up. Sonic was basically just lifeless. Like,
Sonic's dead.
Sonic was dead. But they did see that he had pulse, and it was really accelerated, by the way. He was nervous. There was something going on with him. He wasn't dead. It was just...
We don't know if that's normal or not.
I don't think that's probably not normal in him. But yeah, he was beat up. He needed help. Sonic needed help, and he was beat up. And he got help. And not only, like, when the little girl saw that he was beat up and you know, he was, like, burns and stuff, and his shoes especially were just burnt. It was like, hey, I have some shoes, I'm gonna go get some. And he gave Sonic his iconic red shoes.
Which is great. I leaned over to my friend and I joked, like, Sonic wears little girl shoes. But it's really charming. It's really sweet. Charming. I really like what they did with that.
Me too. It makes sense, and it just, wow. My God, I'm so happy that this movie is just a thing right now.
Oh yeah. The CGI is not perfect in some areas. Like, it's obvious that Sonic's design was kind of thrown together quickly as they could.
Oh yeah, but I thought it was really good though.
After they scrapped the original, but the amount of expressiveness that he has and how dynamic he is, he's amazingly animated.
Amazing.
So even though the CGI doesn't quite blend as well as you would expect it to, don't even care. I think it works out perfectly. I think the compromise is just worth it.
I was gonna say I'd rather have this compromise where it looks a little off because it's a blue hedgehog with red sneakers, and now he's even more blue because he's got fucking like blue arms and electricity behind him. That's also blue. Like it's even more out there than modern Sonic is. But I'd rather have that than the small gremlin eyes and the white chest for each creature. That
God, the white chest. I still don't understand what that was.
It's the first. I always mention it because I hate it. It's not good. It's not good.
There were times when the movie slowed down a bit.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's something that I mentioned to my friend when Sonic and Robotnik are not on screen, people should be asking, where's Sonic and Robotnik?
Yeah.
Which is another thing that I have to both compliment and also criticize.
Yes.
I'll compliment the human characters. James Marsden, he plays Tom, the Donut Lord.
And he's really good at what he does.
Yeah, he's not bad. Mm-hmm. Like, I didn't dislike him. I thought he was serviceable. Yeah, but that kind of leads into like one of my little criticisms is he's serviceable.
Yeah.
And in a movie where you have Sonic the Hedgehog and Jim Carrey's Robotnik, being serviceable is fine, but it was still a case of the human characters.
Yeah, I feel the same. I feel the same, and at the same time, I cannot help but feel that maybe that was done not like how he played the character itself, but how the character was portrayed and written. Maybe he was a lot more laid back and not out there because they did want Sonic to be the main character of this. That would make sense in my books, but at the same time, I do agree that there's a little something that character could have done. You know, a little more.
Speaking of that, thank God Sonic is the main character.
Thank God for that.
There are a lot of movies with iconic characters that don't even really feature said characters very much.
Yep. I completely agree. And like one of my other small criticisms about it is, and I know this makes sense because Sonic didn't know where to go. Sonic was making a friend, so he'd rather stay in the car, and you already know what I'm gonna mention with this. But it's a Sonic movie. There was the action scenes where Sonic went through Egypt and he went through everywhere in the world, and it was super cool. But Sonic spent a lot of time in a car. And that makes sense because, again, I'm sure Sonic would want to stay because he was making a friend, he was having fun, he was driving the car like Vin Diesel, he was having fun. But for the sequel, and this is like, let's talk about this like in depth more later, but I'll go briefly. Make him run more, make him go through more Sonic zones, more Sonic worlds, different universes, because he brings up a little map with a lot of universes with like Mushroom Hill and Green Hill and South Island. I wanted more of that, but I do understand that this is the first movie. And there's also like, I hope we can put this on screen. There's like a little snippet from an interview that does mention that they've been asked about this. Was it all on Earth and stuff? And it's because they didn't have the budget. They had a lot more characters planned, CG characters, more zones, Sonic zones to show. But
we have to make sure this is a hit before we ask for more money.
Exactly. They were in a budget, and they had to make a redesign, and they had to lay the foundation. And if this succeeded and we wanted more, which we do, they'd do more. And that's what they're going to do, hopefully, in the sequel. So I understand why it's all on Earth, basically. I understand why he's in a car, but that's a criticism that I do have so far.
Right. Which is interesting. It seems to be a trend amongst cartoon CGI characters being in a car road trip with human characters.
Yeah, I guess it's because, they need to go from location to location, and that way you don't have to animate their whole body.
Yeah, it's probably, again, it might again be budget concerns.
Yeah, 100%.
Which is interesting. That chase scene, though, when they were on the road, it was heavily featured in trailers when Dr. Robotnik is chasing Sonic and Tom. That was a good scene.
It was a good scene. And How Are You Not Dead? I have no idea. The little dance that he did in the trailers, that was changed. That was changed.
That was changed.
That was changed. For something.
I told my friend before we walked in the theater, like, I bet Sonic's gonna floss. Or he's gonna do some Fortnite dance. And lo and behold...
The thing is, I knew because, and this is crazy, remember back then, like months and months ago, where there was a Reddit AMA from someone that saw a screening, and I told you Sonic was gonna floss, and I'm talking
I didn't believe you.
And I'm talking like half a year ago, maybe, or more, and it happened. That's crazy. Someone did see that movie, like half a year ago.
Let's not like mix words here. It doesn't matter. Like, if anybody is genuinely upset or angry that Sonic flossed, it doesn't matter.
It's Sonic. He can do it. He's a kid in this movie. He can do whatever he wants.
It's a couple seconds. You'll live.
Yeah, exactly.
There are way more important things to be upset about.
Exactly. No, I'm not upset about that at all. I just found it funny that it was changed and it was a Fortnite reference. You know, that's a funny extent of it.
It's shocking to me that we didn't get Robotnik flossing, because Robotnik flossing, though, that would have been something. Speaking of, can we talk about Jim Carrey? Can we talk about how Robotnik is great?
Robotnik is amazing, and I also love how, again, this is both a criticism and a positive. My criticism is, for most of the movie, or all of the movie, he doesn't behave like Robotnik, but at the same time, there's an origin story, they're rebooting stuff, they're making a whole new thing that I love. I love the transformation from the start of the movie to the end. Like, it's so good.
He gradually molds into Eggman.
It's really good. Oh my god.
Jim Carrey is full of charisma, full of energy. He is just a joy to watch on screen. He's so silly, and I can't get enough of that.
He nails the role. He works for what they wanted, and I'm sure, like, at the end when he gets like the full Eggman voice and the mustache, jeez, dude, that hit. That's like, oh my god, it's Eggman. It's not Robotnik anymore. It's not movie Robotnik. This is the Eggman that we know.
He is the Eggman.
He is the Eggman. That's the one song that they were missing.
He had some great lines too. I remember that orphan joke.
Oh yeah,
that killed my friend group. We died. That shit was the funniest thing.
That was something. And the scene where Sonic was in the bag, and it was like, "Do you have a child in that bag?" Like, yeah, I have a child, but it's not mine. That's kind of
that's one of the few moments from the first bad trailer that was actually pretty good.
And like, I kind of didn't expect that joke, even though I know it was there. It still caught me off guard. Like, are we really making the joke? Like, I saw people generally get offended over it. I'm not offended by it. I think it's a really funny movie scene, but it's I can see that it may cross a line for some people, not for me, but I just thought it was really funny, honestly.
I think because it crossed the line was why it was so funny.
Yeah, that's probably it, honestly.
There's a place for dark humor.
Yeah, Sonic.
Obviously, it's so long as you don't go over the line with it.
Sonic and Black Knight exists and stuff, Sonic has gone dark places, so the movie can do it. It's okay.
Remember when Knuckles almost stabbed himself?
His honor was his heart.
But my honor, though!
He couldn't take it.
So it's like, dude, what the fuck?
So like, what are you doing, Knuckles? Please.
Dude, what are you even doing?
Dude, go guard the Master Emerald, please. Just go.
This is really not that important. You do not have to kill yourself.
Yeah. Oh, it's so funny, honestly. But yeah,
I can't wait for the Sonic movie sequel where he gets a sword.
Sonic and the Black.
Sonic
movie.
and the Sword.
Yes. Sonic and the Sword.
I want it to be called Sonic and the Sword.
Not Sonic and Tails, Sonic and the Sword. No Tails.
No Tails. He's not even in the sequel.
No. He died when he started flying. He just fell.
It did feel like a very, and again, we talked about this a little bit before. It did feel like a very safe movie.
Yes, and that's my main criticism. But at the same time, I understand it so much that I don't even know if I can criticize it for it.
Well, to me, it's the most important thing is that the movie is enjoyable.
Exactly. And
the fact that we didn't get as much of Sonic's world, the fact that we didn't get as many unique, interesting set pieces, the fact that it was all very grounded, very small scale, it was both a little obnoxious because it's like, oh man, it's Sonic the Hedgehog, like it needs to be bigger, but it was also refreshing because again, it's small, it's compact, it's fun, it makes sense.
Yep.
It's simple, and I think its simplicity is good. Whenever the movie inevitably expands for its hopefully inevitable sequel, I hope they can keep it together because I feel like one of the strengths of this movie, despite the fact that I criticize a little bit that it's a little too safe, a little too by the numbers, but one of its strengths is that it's very compact and it's very tight.
What is here is mostly really, really good, and that works to its favor 100%. And again, this is when I wanted to bring up like the small snippet from that interview again. It's basically what they said. They're laying the foundation for something, and they had a budget, and this movie's succeeding so much. By the way, like 100 million plus worldwide. Yeah. The first weekend, it's definitely gonna get a sequel, probably. It's definitely probably...
What do you say it's definitely going to get a sequel? Probably.
It's let's leave it. It's definitely going to get a sequel. I didn't want to get ahead of myself, but I'm going to go and say it. It's definitely going to get a sequel. And I can't say definitely here because I don't know enough about movies, but it's probably going to get a budget raise for the sequel. And we're going to get to see way more of what we've been wanting to see in this movie. So that's really good. That's fantastic.
Right. In the way of side characters, there weren't really that many side characters aside from Agent Stone and Tom's wife.
Nope, and they didn't really just...
They were kind of there.
Yeah, they were there, but they didn't... It's not like Sonic X side characters were like, okay, please go away, you know? It's more like...
Right, I think it's good to point out there's no Chris Thorndike.
No, there's no Chris Thorndike, 100%. Nope.
These are side characters that are tolerable.
Mm-hmm.
They're obviously not the main draw of the movie, which is fine because we have Sonic, we have Robotnik.
Mm-hmm.
But the ones that are there, and for what screen time they do take up, it's fine.
It's fine. Yeah, they don't overstay their welcome. That's my main point here. They don't overstay their
generic,
welcome, and it's cool.
They're there. It's fine.
Yeah.
Agent Stone was a good foil to Robotnik in some moments. It's good. As a good
Stone,
comic relief.
Agent Stone just reminds me of Sad AM's Snively. And I love that character, so I'm so happy that he's there. Like the way he's
Was it Snively or Snively?
I don't know. I just like Sad AM Robotnik had that weird accent going on. I always said Snively, but it's probably Snively.
I just don't remember because I watched that show when I was a fucking kid.
I hear it's Snively, but it's probably Snively. I'm Spanish, dude. Don't take my word for stuff. Don't take my words for stuff. Especially.
Why can't you speak American good?
I'm sorry. Jeez.
You don't even speak English. You speak American.
I speak American. That's my language. But yeah, it just reminded me of especially the scenes where Robotnik just kind of bullied him. You know, he's like, get to like pin yourself against the wall. It's like, okay,
pin yourself against the wall.
He just fucking gets there so he can pin him. It's so funny. And like the scene where like I think they're gonna like do a high five and he just pits him. Like suddenly, right. And he's like out of breath. And it's like that was really funny to me. That was I missed Robotnik just bullying someone. it's just funny.
Jerk.
He's such a jerk, and he needs to portray that he's a jerk. You know, he does it to robots now, like Robot in Cuba, but it's funnier on humans.
It's just great because we haven't seen Jim Carrey be this quirky and this silly for a long time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it feels good to just have him tap into that super weird personality that he was known for when he first started acting.
Yeah, I agree. And the fact that he also mentioned that he's never done sequels, I don't think, but he wants to do a Sonic movie sequel. He wants to play Robotnik again, or Eggman now. Yeah,
based on interviews and what he's been talking about, he really enjoys the role.
He enjoyed the role, and this is like a little thank you, I guess, to like Jeff Fowler. I've seen tweets about the Sonic movie staff and the actors and stuff that said like, hey, Jeff Fowler was genuinely like an amazing director to work with, and he loves the franchise. He's done things with the franchise before, and he tried his best and he succeeded. So I'm just really happy that we got Jeff Fowler. You know, Jeff Fowler, I think, did an amazing job.
Yeah, and again, the most important thing, they listened to the fans and they adapted the design and they made the movie way more serviceable as a result.
Yeah,
we can't be thankful enough of those animators that put in the work.
Yeah,
and there's stories about crunch time, there's stories about mismanagement, which is all really sad, really really ashamed, and I do hope that they get some closure on all of this.
Yeah, me too.
But let's be clear. Sonic the Hedgehog did not close that animation studio.
Yeah, I was about to mention that Sonic the Hedgehog is not the cause. Like why that studio shut down. It's not the issue. Like I saw on a site that's official, it's reliable, that in interviews they had with the studio, like asking, hey, why did this happen? It's not really about crunch, it's not about money. It was more about I think they got word of a better opportunity of like another studio or the same studio, maybe, I don't know the details, in another place that sounded better, so that's why they shut down. I don't think as far. Again, I'm not 100% on this, but I'm 90%.
Don't rely on us for the facts, because we're not. We're just recording, shooting the shit. So
yeah,
we don't know.
It should be obvious that we don't know the facts, but 90% that the studio just had a better opportunity somewhere else, or so I heard, and they closed down. But they're There may have been crunch. There may have been a lot of overtime. We cannot take that away. We don't know that though. But
right. We don't know the full details of what happened. All we're saying is essentially, while we love this movie, we think the animation is fantastic. We're extremely pleased with Sonic's design and how he moves.
Thankful, yeah.
So to that end, all we can say is thanks. We hope the people that put in the work and got that moving, got that working, get the kind of closure that they need. They get the respect that they need. And regardless of what happened, it's important to remember that they exist, and hopefully they get a happy end.
I just hope like they found themselves like a footing, to land on. Like I just hope they're not just like out of their jobs or anything.
Right, because we're not idiots.
No,
it's like we're blatant fanboys, and clearly we love this franchise, but we're not going to say like it doesn't matter what happened to the studio. We got Sonic. It's like no, it matters. Like we care. I just think it's important to point out that it's not the fault of the Sonic movie.
On Sonic 100%. If any.
So like, a lot of clickbait articles about it. So it's just, and again, we don't know the full facts. So if you're interested, you want to know more, do the research on your own, man. Like don't listen to clickbait titles and don't listen to us. If you're curious and you want the full story, you can go out and look for it. But I just felt it was worth addressing that.
Yeah, me too.
And now that we covered most of the our general thoughts, I want to point out the finale and the first stinger were blatantly spoiled in trailers.
That's insane.
That's bad. Like that's not good.
That's not good. Like,
and that's not the fault of the movie. That's blatantly the studio. But like that's not good. Come on.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't have done that. I understand they're really cool shots, and I understand they had to promote this movie really hard, and I mean it did pay off. Like, look at all these
Sonic
sales.
Sonic the Hedgehog. What more is there to promote?
Well, simply saying it's Sonic the Hedgehog nowadays doesn't really.
There's so much to. I don't know.
Yeah,
I get that the Eggman shot is definitely because they wanted to calm fans down. They were like, Jim Carrey doesn't look like Robotnik.
Yeah.
But like, 100%. Man, it would have been like the Tails moments. Like you see him at the end, it's like, oh, he looks like Eggman.
Yeah. But I guess we did have the Tails scene at least to cover that up. That was truly something.
Post credit scene features Miles Tails per hour. My friend, whenever we got out of the theater, they were all my friends were giggling, and I was like, guys, what are you laughing at? And they're like, well, as soon as Tails showed up, we could hear a bunch of people like shouting behind us and a bunch of gasps, but we also clearly heard you cut through the audience going, what? And I was like, well, I mean, come on, man. It's Tails.
It's Tails. You do not expect another Sonic character in the Sonic movie, honestly.
Which I expect. Again, I expected that because I knew there was a post-credit stinger that everyone was going crazy about, and I was like, well, I mean, what else could it be? It must be another Sonic character.
But when you see it, it just hits.
Yeah, when you see it, Tails come out and it's like he's all fluffy. He looks adorable. He looks huggable.
Exactly.
It's like it's Tails, man. It's Tails.
And he has his voice actor, like the same one.
And he has his original voice actors, which is something that I think we discussed this. I believe that they secured his original voice actress because it's a quick cameo for like a few minutes, not even a minute really.
Yeah.
And they didn't want to settle on a celebrity actor or actress, and they didn't want to pay for that for just a quick cameo at the end. So I believe that if there is a sequel and Tails plays a more prominent role, they will likely replace Tails' voice actress with somebody more well known.
Yeah.
Which I'm not saying that I want to happen, and I'm not saying that I don't want to happen. I just feel like that's probably going to happen.
I don't want that because Tails right now, I think she has a perfect voice actress. I love her. So
and you mentioned that you feel Ben Schwartz, Jim Carrey, and James Marsden is enough star power.
Yes, I feel like that's just, they don't need any more names to attract more people. Like, it sure would. I can see why, the more names the merrier, the better, I guess. But you have Ben Schwartz, you have Jim Carrey. Like, really, do you need any more? Like, honestly?
Well, and I also like, Sonic the Hedgehog himself may as well be top billing.
Yeah.
Like these actors are really important to getting casual audiences in the seat, but it's Sonic the Hedgehog. Knowing that it's Sonic, he's a cast member all in of himself. And he's gonna put butts in that seat.
Exactly, and now especially after this first movie, where people are like, "Oh yeah, the first Sonic movie was pretty good." It's just
it was a success.
Yep,
it was a big success. I can't speak. Everybody gets one. Yeah, like you mentioned, Sonic the Hedgehog did really well. Largest video game opening weekend for video game movie opening weekend. It beat out Detective Pikachu. Mm-hmm. Which, I mean, not to take anything away from Detective Pikachu. I love that movie. I thought it was really fun.
Yeah, me too. It's pretty fun.
Detective Pikachu suffered from horrible timing. It came out just before Endgame.
Really bad timing. Really, really bad timing.
Which is really not smart. I don't know why they did that.
Yeah, I don't know.
By the way, yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog performing really well. It seems to be a hit.
It is a hit.
So I'm very happy that Sonic is doing very well. Mm-hmm. It did, again, surpass expectations, both in terms of critical reception and in terms of box office, which I am very, very happy about.
Me too, yeah. It's something unexpected. I don't think many of us expected just this to happen. I was sure the movie was going to do good after the redesign trailer and everything. But I did not even I, which I tend to be really positive about stuff, even Sonic, because I'm dumb and I still am positive about Sonic. Right. It still surpassed my expectations, as in positivity. Everyone loves it. It's crazy. Really happy. Cool. Yep. Really, really happy.
And I myself was relatively pessimistic. Mm-hmm. And that's something that I wanted to, for like closing statements. I've been suffering from some burnout for a while now.
Yeah.
About Sonic the Hedgehog.
Of course.
I was extremely passionate about the series, and I started falling out of love with it around the time that from pretty much the entirety of 2018 and a lot of 2019.
Let's just say forces.
Well, it's not kind of forces more so reaffirmed my pessimistic belief that Sonic was never going to improve, and Sonic was just always going to be going up and down, and he was going to continue to be mocked and not be taken seriously. And I was frustrated with the direction the franchise was going, frustrated with the story, frustrated with the characters. I was falling out of love, which is really sad considering, I grew up with this series. I've loved it since I was a kid. And this Sonic movie means a lot to me because I'm really excited. Like I'm having a good time talking about Sonic, having a good time theorizing about this world and these characters, having a good time discussing it with people. And that's why we're doing this little discussion right now, is because like I want to talk about it. I want to talk about Sonic, and that's great. To me, that's worth the ticket price alone, honestly. Yeah, cheesy as that sounds.
And I feel it's super cheesy all you want, but Sonic is all about the cheese too. And
he really is.
He really is, and I feel the exact same way. Even if I was positive and all, being positive doesn't mean blindly accepting everything and knowing that it's gonna get better. No, you're just positive. You want it to be better, but you don't know. And I suffered like the same little burnout as well. It's like, wow, 2D Sonic game mania did really well. I love those games, I really do, but my heart is with modern Sonic, and I like the Sonic that talks, and he's cheesy and all that jazz. But like, the lore doesn't make sense. The games keep being from bad to mediocre to good to then all the way again bad and mediocre again. It's like, what is going on? Like, I love this franchise and I want to love it, but there's so many other franchises out there. I see the Persona fans having a blast. I see the Mario fans having a blast. Like, please. But Sonic movie just came through, man. And the Sonic movie is just, I'm so interested to know what Sega's gonna do now with this franchise, because they have a massive success here. They have a hit. They have a big hit. What are they gonna do?
It reaffirms the belief that Sonic is not a doomed franchise. Sonic is not doomed to mediocrity. Sonic is not doomed to being bad.
Nope.
Sonic is just horribly mismanaged, and he's been mismanaged for a long time. And we see success stories like Sonic Mania and the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, which reaffirms people love Sonic, and Sonic can be cool. Sonic can be good. Sonic can be great.
Yeah, and I know there's some people are tired of the praise this man I'm about to mention gets and stuff, but it just really all ties in.
Well, I mean, Tyson deserves the praise because he really has been steering this franchise in the best of directions.
Exactly. A lot of other people that work with him obviously do too, but they are all represented by Tyson S. So we can only, as a community, really just be like, okay, Tyson S came through since Mania, and every single time he's involved in something, it's fantastic.
Right, and of course we're not saying like it's only Tyson Hales. Like obviously there's a lot of people,
but
a lot of
helping.
hands.
He's helping.
But he has been the course corrector, so to speak. And I guess on that note, we will shove off. This is my friend Dakiii. You can go ahead and find him on twitter.com/it's Dakiii.
Yeah, at Dakiii is taken, even with the 3 eyes that everyone's like, why is it 3 eyes? Is it Danky? Is it Dakiii? Is it Donkey? No, Evan. It's Dakiii. It's Dakiii. It's Dakiii. But yeah.
And you can also check out his YouTube channel. He's gonna be getting back on that soon.
Mm-hmm. Plan on it. Should be fairly soon. So hopefully that goes well.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
I'm a really bad YouTuber, but yeah.
I'm your mentor.
He's my mentor. I learn a lot from him. He every day he gives me lessons every single day. He's just like, okay, so you see the views. Don't care about the views. The views don't matter.
You see these red arrows and circles? Make sure you put them in your thumbnail so people know that these things are important.
Yeah, and he tells me like every time there's like a new Sonic rumor, like Sega like posts a picture of like modern Sonic and like Generations or Forces or whatever.
Sonic Adventure 3?
Confirmed? Big arrow and fan-made logo? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm teaching him right.
Yeah, I'm keeping things in check thanks to him. So thanks, Boulder.
Anyway, y'all have a good one, and we'll be seeing you some other time.
Yeah.
Take
care, guys. See you.
Warning, this discussion contains spoilers for the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. Make sure you do not listen unless you are already seen the movie. I'm going to go ahead and do that again because I fucked up. Okay. Warning, this discussion contains spoilers for the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. If you have not seen the movie or you just haven't... Fuck! God damn it! One more time. Warning, this discussion contains... Fuck! I'm gonna kill myself. Warning.
Relax.
Warning, this discussion contains... Okay, let me slow it down. Warning, this discussion contains...
Just breathe for like 5 seconds. 5 seconds, Boulder. Take it easy.
Okay.